A few years ago, I made a video about urban legends from Michigan, which still seems to get quite a bit of views. People had requested then and now not only more urban legends from Michigan, but from other states as well. So I'm starting a new series where we explore urban legends from every single state in America. First up, Alabama. Enjoy. Consolation Church. The abandoned Oakey Street Methodist Church, better known as Consolation Church, is found in Red Level, Alabama, and is allegedly home to a wide array of otherworldly visitors. According to legend, the church was forced to close its doors long ago due to the loud crying, whimpering, and screaming of ghosts. Female spirits would descend upon churchgoers, promising death. The church is said to be a place where you can see hellhounds, banshees, and child ghosts. Confederate soldiers have also been reported marching near the church grounds. Ghost hunters claim to feel spirits touch them and experience random bursts of cold air, even in 100-degree weather. Some claim that if you linger near the church too late, you'll see a phantom 1964 black Ford truck operated by a ghost driver that will chase you off the grounds. Be careful, however. If the driver catches up to you, you'll be likely to meet a terrible fate. Crybaby Hollow. The legend of Crybaby Hollow revolves around a haunted bridge deep in the woods on Kyle Road in Hartselle, Alabama. There are a number of legends surrounding the bridge, as is common for urban legends. But the most often repeated tale is that of Crybaby Hollow. According to the story, in the 1800s, a horse-drawn wagon carrying an infant was traveling across the bridge when a wheel snapped. The wagon turned over, and the infant fell into the creek and drowned. Some report they hear crying near the bridge late at night. According to local lore, if you put a candy bar on the bridge and leave it, a small bite will be gone when you come back. The Burlson-McIntyre House. This house is a former plantation that has been standing in Decatur, Alabama for over 170 years. The house has deep roots to the Civil War. The front columns are riddled with bullet holes from various battles, and the Battle of Shiloh was planned within its walls. During the war, it was sometimes used as a hospital, and soldiers often died in the house. Perhaps in part due to this violent history, the house has long been rumored to be haunted. According to local lore, a Union soldier died from battle wounds in the Burlson-McIntyre House, and was buried under the floorboards for a few days until the battle had died down enough to give him a proper burial. Since then, people have reported seeing the apparition of a ghost lurking around the house. In addition to the Union soldier, people report seeing the spirit of a woman in white lurking around the grounds. Dead Children's Playground. This Alabama playground is found within the grounds of Maple Hill Cemetery, the oldest and biggest cemetery in the state. Given its location, it's no surprise it's rumored to be haunted. Guests report seeing swings move on their own and hearing children giggling. It's not uncommon for residents to take pictures in the playground, only to have mysterious orbs of light show up in the photos. So why is the cemetery haunted? Like all folklore, legends vary. Some prefer the simple explanation that the ghosts of children buried in the cemetery come to the grounds to play, while others spin more sinister tales. Some say there is a string of child abductions in the 1960s, and the bodies of the kidnapped children were eventually discovered near the playground. The Alabama Paranormal Society investigated the playground in 2008. Investigators claim they heard the voice of a small child. When they took a photo from the area where the voice was coming from, a misty figure of a woman appeared in the picture. Sloss Furnace. Found in Birmingham, Alabama, Sloss Furnace supplied the necessary steel to build skyscrapers and automobiles across the entire country through the 1800s and early 1900s as well. Much local lore has sprouted up surrounding the company and its success. Most notably, the tale of James Slag Wormwood. Slag was the supposed foreman of the furnace during the early 1900s and was known to force workers to endure brutal conditions to meet production needs. Workers often worked long hours with minimal sleep and were exposed to temperatures over 100 degrees. 47 workers died due to mishaps and accidents. The mistreatment went on until Slag lost his footing and fell to his death into a pool of melted iron. While ruled an accident, many speculated that fed-up workers pushed Slag into the iron. Slag's spirit is rumored to linger at the furnace. Workers have reported being pushed by unseen forces and hearing angry voices say, "Get back to work." Workers also endured mysterious burns and even reported seeing a half-man, half-demon lurking on the grounds. The Ghost of Sally Carter. The saga of Sally Carter is a well-known legend around Huntsville, Alabama. Carter was a Huntsville resident who died in 1825 after a brief illness, just a few weeks shy of her 16th birthday. Visiting her grave at night was a common ritual for Alabama ghost hunters, and people sometimes swear they saw bones near her grave. However, when a building was constructed over Carter's grave in 1982, the family had her body excavated and moved to an undisclosed location. Carter allegedly first appeared as a ghost in 1919, seen by a 17-year-old boy in his dreams. The boy fell asleep the night of a thunderstorm and reported Carter came to him in his dream and told him her tombstone had fallen over and she needed him to place it upright again. Sure enough, when the boy checked the graveyard the next day, Carter's marker had indeed fallen. The disappearance of Orion Williamson. Orion Williamson is a well-known legend around Selma, Alabama, and his saga has spawned conspiracy theories and ghost stories for decades. According to the local lore, Williamson was a farmer who lived in Selma in the 1800s. One day in 1854, he was walking from his porch to the nearby grazing horses. After waving to his neighbor, he vanished into thin air. The grass in the spot where Williamson stood also supposedly vanished, and while his wife sometimes heard him calling from the backyard, he was never seen again. Eventually, authorities declared him dead after an extensive search. But did this actually happen? Reported on paranormal blogs and sites for amateur sleuths such as Reddit, the story's origin is murky. But that does not stop people from believing and searching for plausible explanations, such as magnetic fields. Hell's Gate Bridge. The infamous Hell's Gate Bridge in Oxford, Alabama, is rumored to have been home to a tragic death, so haunting is par for the course. According to the story, a young couple died on the bridge and still haunt the grounds. Supposedly, if you drive over the bridge at night, stop your car, and turn off the lights, you'll be visited by a member of the couple who may even climb into your car. There have also been rumors that if you stop your car on the bridge and turn around, you'll see the fiery gates of hell. Unfortunately, the bridge is no longer open to traffic. It was closed down in 2005. Although that hasn't stopped paranormal enthusiasts from foregoing rules to investigate anyway. In 2017, there were some tentative plans to demolish the bridge, so it may sadly disappear from local lore in the near future. Hug and Molly. The legend of Hug and Molly has been told in Aidville, Alabama for decades. According to the story, the spirit of a 7-foot-tall witch stalks the streets at night, dressed in a long black skirt. If she happens upon you, she will pick you up, hug you tight, scream into your ear, and then let you go. Hug and Molly is such a popular local fixture in the town that there is even a witch-themed restaurant named after her. The Anniston High School girls' locker room ghost. The legend of the ghost in the Anniston High School girls' locker room goes back years and years and is often recounted by upperclassmen to incoming freshmen as kind of a hazing ritual. In it, a girl realized she left her purse in the girls' locker room on her way to catch the bus home and went back to retrieve it. While in the locker room, she heard footsteps and was suddenly assaulted by a man. As he strangled her and she flailed, she pulled down a row of lockers, which fell on top of him and killed him. The attacker lay dead in a pool of his own blood. When the police were called to the scene, they found the girl's purse in a pool of blood beneath the falling lockers, but no body. Many say that similar events have occurred numerous times, the ghost attacking any girl who finds herself in the locker room alone before vanishing. The piano-playing housekeeper. Gaineswood Mansion in Demopolis, Alabama is a gorgeous old house that has a very talented ghost. According to the local legend in the 1800s, Nathan Whitfield lived in the house with his family. When his wife died, he hired a housekeeper to help with daily chores. The housekeeper supposedly loved playing the family's piano, but unfortunately fell ill and died shortly after being hired. She requested to be buried back in her hometown, but died during a hard winter. Her remains were stored in the house, under the staircase, in the basement, until her body could be transported back east. Rumor has it her ghost haunted the house before she received a proper burial. Guests and residents could hear footsteps coming from the basement stairs frequently, and sometimes a phantom piano could be heard playing the songs the woman loved dearly in life. The Headless Man of Stringfellow Memorial Hospital. Stringfellow Memorial Hospital in Anniston, Alabama, allegedly houses two ghosts. One is the ghost of the founder, Mary Stringfellow, who was an old organ player. She supposedly wanders the hallways at night, accompanied by the sound of organ music. The scarier apparition, however, is that of a headless man. Supposedly, a man committed suicide in one of the hospital rooms by shooting himself in the head. Ever since, guests reportedly see the phantom figure of a headless ghost roaming the hallways. Well, what about you? Have you experienced any of these urban legends yourself? Or have you experienced an urban legend from another place that you want to share? If so, please let us know in the comments section below. Or send me an email at duchessdark676@gmail.com. As always, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.